And the San Antonio Spurs are going to the NBA Finals as they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 111-103. This Spurs team has proven every single NBA analyst wrong in terms of the age thing in the NBA. As a young team, cannot make the NBA Finals. A young team needs a couple battle scars, bruises before they make the NBA Finals. This Spurs team has defied the odds, and with their star player, who's only 22 years old, and Victor Wembanyama leading the charge, went into Oklahoma City and pretty handily beat the Thunder. They only were down in this game by no more than, I want to say, 4 or 5 points. And there was 2 or 3 stretches where they were up by 10 points or more. And this Spurs team throughout the regular season had always focused on team basketball. They would always preach that as long as they are winning, they did not care about the stats or, the fame or whatever that would come in as being a leading scorer. And we saw in game 7, Champagnie 20 points, Wemby 22 points, Fox 15, Castle 16, Vassell 11, Harper 12, Keldon Johnson 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures, and no player with more than 22 points, as Wemby had 22 with leading the team. That is what the Spurs had been preaching the whole regular season. And for the Thunder, there was really 1 or 2 players that came to play, and Shea had 35 points in 43 minutes, shot 12 of 21 from the field, and really left it all on the court. Shea didn't have a great series, a series to his expectations, a series that a 2-time MVP would have. However, in this game, he showed the world that he is still a perennial player in the NBA and he is here to stay. But I would like to give the spotlight to San Antonio. Guys like Champagnie and Vassell and Fox especially. Sorry for raising my voice. But Fox especially came to play. There was a lot of doubt coming into the series with Fox. A lot of doubt this whole playoffs. Him being injured. Him being in shooting slumps. I want to say last game he had a horrible game. Came out, shot 50% from the field. And what the Spurs did in this game with help of Fox was lessening the turnover battle. I'm looking at it right now. It's 13-12. But through 3 quarters, the Spurs had, I want to say, 6 turnovers. OKC had 12. And those possessions mean huge amount of differences, especially in the playoffs. Guys like Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren were unplayable for the Thunder. And to go on about Chet Holmgren, 4 points, 4 rebounds, shot the ball 2 times in this game. Missed 2 free throws, shot 2 for 4. If you're an All-NBA player, a top 15 player according to the voters, as he was 13 All-NBA, you cannot shoot 2 times in the Western Conference Finals in a Game 7 against the Spurs team. There was no Jalen Williams. There was no A.J. Mitchell. And they were needing someone to lead the team. He was getting guarded by Devin Vassell primarily the whole game. And he did not answer the bell. And he's going to have a long, long offseason to think about how his shortcomings in this series costed the Thunder. Shea needed that too, that second guy. Caruso couldn't be that this game. Jared McCain couldn't be that. Cason Wallace, only guy that came to shoot the ball. He shot 5 for 9 from 3. And Chet's got to man up. I think the whole series, it's a psychological thing with Wemby. I know he doesn't entertain that little rivalry, but it's real. And I think it really goes into Chet's mind. This Spurs team, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Dylan Harper, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring him up. Keldon Johnson made a couple threes in the fourth quarter that were very, very key. And the announcers brought it up on the telecast. That Luke Cornett block, when they were up 6, they turned the ball over off a timeout. Thunder had a 2-on-1. Luke Cornett with a key block to keep the game 6 points and to make sure those Cornett minutes were not wasted as Wemby was on the bench with 5 fouls. Wemby didn't have, the craziest offensive game, shot 46% from the field, but his shots were very timely. He shot 3 for 5 from 3. I like his 3-point attempts being at that And this Spurs team's going to the NBA Finals. I think everyone is surprised that it was this soon, but this Spurs team is here to stay. I would not be worried if for any Thunder fans out there, including myself, this team will be back. Sam Presti will, figure out the offseason and make the team better. But other than that, we're going to have Spurs Knicks in the NBA Finals. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.